Well, I've spoken before about the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation, and I'm pleased to say I'm an ambassador and one of those who try and do what I can to raise awareness. Cure Brain Cancer is the peak organisation for brain cancer research, advocacy and awareness in this country. Its mission is to increase the 5-year survival rate from the current 20% to 50% by 2023. The man at the helm of the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation, well, he's one of the great Australians, Professor Charlie Teo. And as you know, he's a man on a mission when it comes to fighting brain cancer. But he's also about to become a man on a very different mission, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. With a summit just shy of 6,000 metres, it is the world's highest freestanding mountain. So getting to the top is not a picnic. But Charlie's not doing it alone. He's taking with him what's been described as an eclectic group of business leaders, and they're heading off this week. They're calling it the $1 Million Mission. And as the name suggests, it's being done with the aim of raising $1 million to help Charlie Teo in his fight. Well, the good news is that they might have to change the name because they've already passed the $1 million mark. Now, amongst those going with Charlie is a man called Julian Doyle. He's walking in memory of his wife, Nidra, who died from brain cancer 4 years ago after a 5-year battle with the disease. And I'm joined in the studio by Julian, along with Marcella Zamanek. Marcella is the director of and ambassador for the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation. She also lost her beloved husband, Stan, to brain cancer in 2007. And if my memory serves me correctly, tomorrow is the anniversary of his death. Marcella, Julian, thank you very much for coming into the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Marcella, am I right? Tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah.
It is tomorrow, 9 years tomorrow, Chris.
And does Stan's fight near the end and your experience with him in those closing stages, does that help you motivate yourself to keep the fight on behalf of Charlie and the foundation?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I'm driven now, and I've met so many amazing people, including Julian and Nidra, and it just makes me want to keep going and raise awareness and raise funds and do all these marvellous things for people who are struggling with brain cancer. And, I meet so many beautiful, beautiful families who are touched by it. So, yes, and I'm doing it to honour Stan, and I meet so many people who still remember him and laugh about him, so it's great.
Great stuff. Let me just give a few facts to our listeners. This disease in Australia has around 1,600 people diagnosed every year. Around 1,200 deaths per year. It kills more children in Australia than any other disease. It kills more people under 40 than any other cancer. Why does it have such a low survival rate? It's only around 5 years, and I'll get to Julian in a second because he's seen that directly with the death of his wife in a short time. Why such a low survival rate?
Oh, Chris, I don't know that because I'm not a medical person, but the type of brain tumour that Nidra and Stan had, a GBM grade 4, there hasn't been any treatment for it, but it's just,
aggressive.
Aggressive, it's primary in the brain, and people to this day haven't been able to survive it.
And Charlie always tells me the story, we try and give it radiation, it flourishes. We try and give it oxygen, it flourishes. We try and deprive it of both those, it flourishes again.
Yes.
It's almost,
It spreads like a spider web through the brain. It's really a very insidious type of tumour.
Julian, what did your wife's treatment involve?
So, Nidra was diagnosed 2007, and it kicked off with the radio, and I think there were 3 months of radio, and then that then rolled into chemotherapy for probably the first 16, 18 months post-operation. And we had a pretty good stretch from that. We had 18 months. We actually were living on the Gold Coast. We moved to Dubai. Yeah. And I remember Charlie saying, you go to Dubai, live your life over there, put this behind you, and if anything happens, I'll come to Dubai and I'll operate over there. I'll take care of business over there. They've got great facilities in Dubai. So we probably had the next 3 years clear, and we're having scans. You live that roller coaster of scans every 3 months, and every scan's it's another mountain that you're dealing with, and then we had we had a recurrence probably 3 years in, and so that would have taken us to probably 2011. The kids were at diagnosis. The kids were 5, 6, 7. I think we got to 2012, moved back to Australia early 2012 after Nidra started to spiral or things. After a couple of operations, it really does have a massive impact on you, and deficits as a result of the surgery start to kick in, and so driving became a problem. And so we moved back to Australia, and late 2012, Nidra passed away in November 2012. But
it would be like it only happened yesterday.
Yeah, it's funny. It's someone described it like waves. You know, sets of waves in the ocean, and at the time it's intense and they're unrelenting. Over time, there's still a wave that comes through every now and then, but the intensity doesn't change. So
all of a sudden, to try and move forward, one of the things that you agreed to do is this $1 million mission. You know, it's probably the most dangerous thing you'll ever do, Julian.
Yeah, possibly one of. But the motivation behind that is when we've packed a lot in. We've had a great life, and we've been blessed in what we've been able to do. Me and the kids and Nidra, and one thing she wanted desperately to do was there was a fundraiser at Machu Picchu some time back, and she wanted to get a group of girls and get on that bandwagon. And unfortunately, things got away, and she wasn't able to do that. Never happened, and you know. So I suppose we achieved a lot, and we don't have any regrets as a family. And as I say, we had this beautiful time together, 5 years from diagnosis. But that was one thing we never, or she never got to do. So I think
this is a way of completing that for her.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I didn't know about this thing. It was at a Cure Brain Cancer cocktail party, friends and family Cure Brain Cancer, and Charlie collared me and said, "Mate, this is right up your alley." So
he does that, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He walked me to the door saying, "You will do this, and I want you there. I want your company on the mountain, so come with me." And that played in my mind for a while, and I think I walked out the door, I felt like I had Nidra on my shoulder saying, "You will do this, you will do this." And then I think I got home, and the kids said, "Dad, I think you got to do it too." And then Bella, my daughter, actually said, "Dad, you know, you always talk about regrets, and I think this is what you've been banging on about for all these years. Don't have one of these regrets, and I think you need to do it as well."
Yeah, so. Fantastic. Now, Marcella was going to do it, but having done it about 20 years ago, she doesn't need to do it again. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I don't think so. I would have liked to have done it, but I think I'm just a bit past it now.
Yeah. Look, people should try as much as they can to get to this website, milliondollarmission.org.au. It is a place where you can contribute and probably not only recognise the fact that there, for the grace of God, go us all in terms of brain cancer, but how about we just thank those who are putting their own lives on the line by getting up Kilimanjaro and donating. You know, we have a lot of commitments in our life in terms of money, but I think this is one of the areas of life that we need to do more about because of the fact that it kills so quickly, because of its aggressive nature, and because too many kids are dying too quickly. milliondollarmission.org.au. You're leaving later this week?
Yeah, leaving on Thursday. And just, you know, one thing I'd say also, as Charlie mentioned to me after Nidra passed away, and he said, "Julian, we don't know what we don't know." And Nidra, actually, all her genetic markers said that she wouldn't respond to Temodal, so she wouldn't respond to the chemotherapy. Yeah. And so statistics say she should have been that statistic that passed away within 12 months, and yet she lived 5 years. So we need to, it's research, it's money, it's everything that enables us to
need to work out where the windows are, to work out where we try harder.
Create more Nidra-style examples.
Julian, right. Fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in. Congratulations even before for committing, and all the very best up that very big mountain.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Good stuff, Julian Doyle. Marcella Zamanek, so good to have you in here again.
Thanks very much for having me, Chris. Nice to see you.
Good stuff, Marcella Zamanek and the Cure Brain Cancer Foundation.